Hello, my name is Carrie and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk all things mindset, motivation, and manifesting. Today, I'm so excited about the topic. We are diving into how your imagination creates your reality. And it's pretty crazy when we make all these connections. Before we start out, I just want to give you a little message today that's on my heart, which is be kind to yourself in this chapter of your life, right? The growth that you're doing, the healing that you're moving through, the learning that you're doing, those experiences, you'll realize that soon it will definitely pay off in spades, and the work you're putting in is going to be worth it. But stay with it and be kind to yourself. You don't have to be perfect right now, all right? You don't have to be perfect ever, but that's another video. So, all right. So in today's video, we want to talk about, I'll share stories about success stories about how people have used their imagination to accomplish incredible things. I will share some tools that you can use with you, as well to do the exact same thing for yourself, right? So stay tuned. That's what we're going to get today. So the term imagination comes from the Latin verb imaginare, which means to picture oneself. So when we look at imagination, we know when we picture ourselves, it can either work for us or against us. And it's a choice. And that's the incredible thing that was the real eye-opener for me, is how I was using my own imagination and it was actually defeating what I was trying to accomplish because of the fears and limiting beliefs and the things that I was throwing in the mix. I could never do that. This will never happen. And oh, what if that happens? And I was actually manifesting it into reality with a lot of what I was going through. So I'm gonna back up. One of my favorite quotes, right? I've got two big quotes that I love about imagination. One is from Einstein, and it is, "Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions." The other one that I love is from Neville Goddard, and it is, "Imagination and faith are the secrets of creation." So when you think about those two quotes and how you're actually think about your thoughts right now, like you're imagining. When we talk about, hey, how do you see next week going for you? How do you see tomorrow going for you? How do you see the next 10 years of your life going for you? And does that excite you? Or is it kind of scary? Or is it doom and gloom? Or is it Groundhog Day, the same thing over and over again? I mean, those are all things to think about when we're using this, because when we think about it, every single man-made creation on this earth started in someone's mind. Every single one of them. And more than likely at some point people told them that can't be done, that's ridiculous, you could never do that, you can never accomplish that. Like all these silly things that come in. And so the key with using your imagination to accomplish goals and success and everything else is not only to be able to imagine it, but to believe that it's possible for you, this or something better. So, and I want to touch on the fact that when we talk about imagination, what my imagination gives me as a picture of an ultimate vacation, for example, is going to be different than what your ultimate vacation will be, and what other people's. What my definition of success is going to be different than yours. And that's okay, because knowing that if it's in your imagination and it's your idea, your goal, your concept, your dream, it's there for a reason. It's given to you, specifically you. Why? Because you are meant to accomplish it. You are meant to pursue it. You are meant to take the action to make that happen. Right? So think about how unique that is and what a gift that is. So all right, that's where we're starting. So the key, like I said, is being able to imagine it and own that and say, yeah, that's for me and it's possible for me, this or something better, and I wonder how it's going to unfold, and being open to letting the universe and the sequence of events and the bridges of incidents all unfold into making that happen for you. And the second part is actually, like I said, believing it. All right, so let's give you some examples of how people have had a lot of success with this in life. Now, some of the biggest ones are Roger Bannister, for example. If you don't know who that is, he's the guy that he's the one that ran the first 4-minute mile, or first mile in sub 4 minutes, right? So, and before that, people, they didn't even think it was possible. Nobody ever done it, but he knew, so we talked about two big tools. So he believed that it was possible. He could see himself doing it. If you can't see yourself doing it, you'll never accomplish it. So he believed that it was possible, and he imagined doing it. There were stories about him visualizing it in ahead of time, and how he would cross the finish line and how it was done. And so here's the beauty of it, is that after he did it, no one had ever done it up to then, but after he did it, in the next year, and I don't know the exact number. If you know the exact number, you can put it in the comments below. But so many people followed and broke that 4-minute mile after that. They did the same thing because they knew, oh, well, it's actually possible now, so I'll do it. And think about how many other examples there are in your life, like right now, right? Things that we knew, whether it's sports or business or health and fitness, all these accomplishments that people are like, wow, that's amazing. And then some people think it's impossible until someone does it. That thing that everyone's telling you is impossible until you do it. Yes. So another example, like the Wright brothers, famous, right? That day at Kitty Hawk, when they had they envisioned and visualized the first flight and having that actually happen. And they tried when and after, visualized it, believed that it could be done, and then took the steps in order to make that happen. Thank goodness they did, right? Because it'd be a heck of a long drive to go on vacation if they didn't. And to even just emphasize the importance of this, there was a study done at Harvard University. And again, if you know the exact dates and all that stuff, I can look it up. Or if you know it, you can share it in the comments below. I welcome you to do that. But it was an experience with piano experiment. And what they did is they had a sampling of students, and they gave them a sequence of notes that they had to rehearse or study or practice for over 5 days. So they had 3 groups. One group, I believe, had where they actually practiced. So physically on the piano, they practiced every day the sequence of notes. Second group, they gave them the sequence of notes, but they told them to spend the exact same amount of time practicing, but they didn't have a piano. They just visualized it. And then the other group didn't practice at all. They just did, and they didn't use the piano at all. Obviously, we know where that one's going. But so the results, so the one group that didn't practice at all, obviously nothing. But the other 2 groups, they took brain scans and did a bunch of studies and judged the performances and everything when they actually sat down and actually played. And it was almost identical between the group that actually physically practiced every day and the group that visualized practicing, with how that worked. And that's amazing, right? And so as I started digging into this concept and tying into it a little bit, realizing how many times in my life I've actually done this without knowing that I was actually doing it. And having those goals and accomplishing certain goals, and then knowing now how it all unfolds. And I have multiple things that I'm working on right now that I'm usually using my imagination and creativity and visualization with, which I will share a little bit about the tools in a minute. But before I knew what I was doing it. Like I went, in my fitness journey, I went from 255 pounds to on stage as a bodybuilder, right, in a natural bodybuilding show, and was on stage less than 6 months. And I stepped on stage and I was like 170 pounds from 255. And the only way that I did that was imagined that I could do it. I saw myself on stage in the Speedo doing my thing, right? And if I didn't believe that it was actually possible for me, I wouldn't have started. I wouldn't have done it. So there's those 2 things. But it was before I kind of really realized the whole how powerful our imagination is. And I mean, we talk about other examples, even personally from my life, right? When we go from, and I share my story of separation and divorce and going from what I thought was rock bottom and going lower, and then imagining in those dark moments of that, hey, you know what? There are good times in the future for me. There are good times. And actually sitting and realizing and sitting in that moment of what those are, what they could be. And that gives you that hope to keep going through and believing that it's possible, right? And knowing that in taking and learning and growing from that experience, that I could do exactly what I'm doing right now and impacting, and influencing and supporting others all over the world. My personal mission statement, if I haven't shared it before, is global impact through exploiting my gifts in the service of others. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And if you would have told me 10 years ago that I'd be doing this, I couldn't have imagined it, right? But when you do believe and imagine it, and actually the universe conspires in your favor to make it happen. And so those are a few examples. And I mean, and I'm definitely grateful for what is, and by no means do I ever claim to be at the finish line, but I am excited for what's coming with the connections that I'm making, the people that I'm talking to, the exposure that I get, the things that I'm learning every day to be able to serve on a larger and grander scale. And it's absolutely incredible, which I am grateful for you for watching our video today and supporting and sharing and stuff like that. So I want to touch on a couple of tools for success. Okay, how can you use this in your life? How can you break that 4-minute mile that you're looking at? How can you achieve something that you didn't think was possible for you? I mean, there's a lot of other tools that are involved as a part of this when we talk about breaking down limiting beliefs and things like that. But we want to sit specifically on these two. Meditation, visualization are the big two, and then you can use scripting, affirmations, and all of those. I'm happy to talk about any of those with you. You can book a call by going to my website, kerrykish.com, and go through there. You can click the link in my bio and any one of my social media stuff. But coming back to it, so meditation, obviously just quieting your mind. You don't have to be a pro. When I first started meditating, I remember all I did was sat there and thought about how crappy I was at meditating and just, oh man, I should be doing other stuff. I should be doing this. I should be doing this. But finally actually trusting it, and I mean, I don't do the exact same meditation every day. Some days I listen to guided meditation, some days it's just quiet, some days it's binaural beats, some days it's frequency, some days it's, just soft music, some days I just listen to the furnace, or an air conditioner, or a fan. It just depends on what I feel called to that day. But the ability to just give your mind a break and focus on breathing, focus on just being is such an amazing thing. And now the sun just went down outside, as you can see the video, like change. I love it. So there are clouds went in front of the sun. So anyways, that's the lighting change. Thought I would share that. Welcome to Live with Kerry, and no editing, and that's what you're getting here. Okay. So meditating, but as I've grown in that journey, it's pretty incredible. Like my days go better when I meditate. That's just, I don't know any other way to explain it. They just do. Right? I feel more calm, I have more clarity, and it just works a lot smoother. So meditation has been a big part of that for me. Also, visualization, which is a massive thing. Neville Goddard is big in this. It's called, he utilizes or promotes what you do right before you go to sleep. It's called the state akin to sleep. That time when you're almost sleeping, but you're not sleeping. Where you think, like, if you're in a car and you're trying to sleep and you're like, oh no, I didn't sleep. But you're like, well, I definitely wasn't awake. Right? So that's that stage. It happens right after you wake up and right before you go to sleep. And whatever your subconscious, whatever you expose your subconscious to during that time, it basically, I mean, in real Kerry terms, is it keeps cooking it while you're sleeping. And your brain is so amazing that your conscious and subconscious, how they function together, your brain doesn't know the difference of what's real and what's not real. So when you think and you visualize in a creative fashion of what you want to manifest in your life, what you want to happen, how things are going well. Is it a big meeting that you've got tomorrow? Visualize it going great. If it's a relationship that an improvement in a relationship that you're in, visualizing how you want that relationship to be. If you're not in a relationship, visualizing the relationship that you want to be in. How are you going to move? And doing it in first person. Don't do it as someone watching a movie. You're actually in it. Doing it, right? And how do you feel in that? And take a moment right now if you're bold enough and brave enough to try it, or do it after the video, but like just sit in that. Something that you want to do, something you want to accomplish, whether it's health and fitness or a career or relationship wise, whatever that is, and sit in that. If that was real for you right now, how would that feel? How would you move? What would you be saying? What's the temperature like? What are the people around you saying and doing? And just soak it up in that moment. And when you do that and rehearse that mentally over and over in your head right before you go to sleep, eventually stuff starts showing up in your world. And I can attest to this 100% from relationship standpoint, from finances, from health and fitness, from all of it. Like it's incredible how it unfolds. And if you want some support with that, once again, reach out to me. I'd love to support you in that, because I thought it was all crap before I started trying it, because at rock bottom you're like, well, I got to try something, and it works. And I want you to be able to try that before you get to that rock bottom, before your back's against the wall, before you have no other choice. That's what I want for you. So yeah, looking into that. And then there's scripting, which is like journaling, scripting, writing the story of how you want it to unfold. And truly, you do have the pen in your own story. So why are we not writing the story we want instead of reacting? And affirmations. Affirmations is another kind of, in touching on this, affirmations is a way of at different moments throughout the day of taking yourself into that living in the wish fulfilled state, as Neville Goddard says. So, and when the key with affirmations is having affirmations that are believable. Standing in front of a mirror and saying, I am a billionaire, when you know you're not a billionaire, all that does is remind you that you're not a billionaire, and that doesn't feel good, because then you're stacking crap on top of crap. So instead of something that doesn't resonate with you and throws your vibe off and it's negative, there's resistance in it, come up with something a little different. Something like, even if you're saving the change that you find on a street in a day, or you're putting $1 or £1 or euro, wherever you're at, $1 a day, $1 a week is what you're saving. You can say, I am now saving and accumulating and investing into my future of abundance. I am a saver. I'm an investor. Start with whatever you've got, right? That's the key. And you affirm that. And you know that it resonates with you and it builds because you're doing it. And when you affirm that and you script it and you visualize it and how that grows and grows, it all starts coming together. So yeah, that's I'd love for you. Hopefully, you got a little bit out of this today. And if you're going to try it, I would invite you to share in the comments below. Put a thumbs up if you're going to try it, or if you have tried it, you can share in the comments what your experience is with it, success stories. I'd love to hear them as well, in sharing mine. And if you want to reach out, you can get a hold of me through my website, again, kerrykish.com. I'll put it in the notes below. Any social media is at Kerry Kish Coaching. You can DM me anywhere through there. So I am grateful for you. It means a lot that you're joining me and supporting this and kind of watching me grow and supporting me as I grow. And my hopes is that I can exponentially shorten that learning curve on your part as well, that you can learn from the experiences and stories that I share as I move through this journey in supporting you and me in becoming the best versions of ourselves. So if you resonated, if something in this video really kind of flipped a switch for you, or was a different perspective that you enjoyed, I'd invite you to like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. It always helps with the old algorithms and stuff like that. You can hit the bell. It'll let you know when I put out new videos. I put them out once a week. So I encourage you to do that. And if you've got ideas, you'd like me to share something or dive into something at all, send me a message, put it in the comments below. I reply to all the comments personally, and I would love to hear what you're looking to hear more of on this channel. So again, if you enjoyed it, you can check out this video that's coming up on the screen right now. Keep that momentum going, because this video is about momentum, mindset, and manifesting as well. So I am grateful for you for every moment we share together. As always, sending peace, love, and positive vibes your way.